we could make up these other rules, but that is the ground rules, brother. Like this whole, oh no, it's construct.
Wait, he says you can make up other rules, but these are the ground rules. Like, I don't necessarily disagree with that take in a vacuum. Like, the ground rules are, yeah, your biology dictates a variety of your physical characteristics, your sexual characteristics, etc., etc. That is, like, the blueprint. But the thing is, like, it differs, for one, and for two, you can change it. Not even, like, with surgeries, but, like, just by replacing the dominant hormone with another one. And you can change it to the point where you become more biologically understandable by medical professionals to be the gender that usually corresponds to the hormone that you're having being the replacement. But anyway, yeah, he's saying, like, the blueprint is the same, but we can have the other rules. What the f are the other rules, brother? That is gender. Gender are the other rules. You have biological sex, sure, but gender is the other rules. Gender is what decides who's a woman or a man based on our society and our expectations for those genders, how they ought to be, or how we expect them to be. The thing is, we're trying to move past that because we're not fucking cavemen anymore. All right, so, like, this is a waste of time, I can imagine. I am curious, though. So, I mean, we might as well see what's up for a bit. xQc, Adin, and DJ Academics gets into heated debate about the topic of transgender. Should it even exist? Who knows? Let's find out.
A gender is like a social construct.
That's so true, King! Speak on it. That's true! If you graduated past basic biology and basic sociology, you would be about as smart as xQc as it would turn out. Imagine losing a debate to xQc, man. Very few people could manage this feat, you know? Because, like, lock, stock, and barrel, that's just a fact. That gender is a social construct. Now, biological sex, there are a lot of socially constructed things that interface with biological sex, but there are a lot of things that are rooted in our literal biology, though luckily you can change them through hormone replacement therapy, where, you know, you replace the dominant hormone in your body with the one that it's not producing by default. This is what trans people often do. Trans men will often take testosterone and suppress their estrogen. Trans women will often take estrogen and suppress their testosterone. Very simple stuff, and that actually ends up changing your biology. You end up, you know, a bunch of different secondary sexual characteristics. They end up fucking producing results, and because of the fact that human beings at a biological level are very similar to each other, like, regardless of whatever biological sex you happen to be, it ends up working out pretty well. If a person wants to do that, I don't see how that's any of your business, you know? I don't know why you care. But anyway, let's continue. We got 2 seconds into the goddamn video, and I'm already monologuing.
Yeah, we're on two different. Hey, listen, let me tell you this.
I need to know DJ Academics' opinion on trans people, you know? I can look at basic biology, I can look at basic sociology, I can look at the advanced versions of said things, I can look at the takes and the evidence from the people who actually study this shit for a living and that's like their literal job. Or we could just see what DJ Academics has to say about it and how he feels about it.
If I meet a man and he tell me that him being a man is a social construct, I slap the shit out of him.
A convincing argument. You know what I have to do when I can't win a debate? You just beat the shit out of the guy, you know? Fuck it. Sounds insecure? A little bit. Like, why does that matter to you, bro? Like, he's not even saying, like, a trans woman or whatever. He's like, if a man, like, if xQc, he's essentially saying he would slap the shit out of xQc if he said that to him in person. Like, he went up to, he went up to DJ Academics in real life. Dude, gender's a social construct, dude. DJ Academics would slap him. But, like, xQc is a man. Like, he identifies that way. Like, it's not even like it's a trans woman or whatever, which I'm not saying is, like, a good excuse, because it's not. But, like, it's man-to-man here. How does that move your soul so much that you want to smack somebody over it? Like, are you that weak? The fuck? Is your soul that shakeable?
Yo, if God made you with a dick and a balls, you a man.
Bro, if God did this, if God did that, what if God made trans people trans, brother? You ever think of that one? Like, you know better than God? Why do trans people exist then? I thought God was all-powerful. I thought he was omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. Why the fuck do trans people still exist? It keeps happening. And which God is it, frankly? You know? Maybe the Buddhist God, or what if the Hindu God is actually the real one, and that God is like, yeah, trans people are chill, actually. I don't give a fuck. Who's to say? Prove me wrong. If God wants trans folks to not exist, he could speak up. That's true, but it doesn't seem like he wants to. It doesn't seem like he wants to. So either God has made people trans, or trans people are existing in opposition to God. And if that's the case, then your God is a fucking bitch. I've seen trans people. Motherfuckers are weak, physically speaking. Many times. The trans femmes, anyway. Not all. Hashtag not all. It's literally like hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. Who would win? The omniscient, omnipresent, all-powerful, all-seeing God, or one transgender? Some real David and Goliath shit.
I don't care what you think about yourself. You need to go deal with that. You need to go to Christ or anybody else. Allah, anybody. You got dick and balls, you are a man. There ain't no social
is that like a feeling you have? David won, though? Well, in this case, Goliath would be God and David would be the trans people, no? Is that not the analogy I was making?
Biology tells me what you are. You got a pussy, you a woman. You got a dick, you're a man. Again.
Man. See, this is why people gotta learn more than basic biology. These motherfuckers are always talking about, oh, it's just basic biology. It's just basic biology. Like, if you went past middle school level biology, like, you wouldn't be thinking like this because you'd have the actual information. You'd have the actual facts of the matter, brother. Like, you this. Will anyone in this video bring up intersex people? Probably not. I'm not sure that they even are aware that intersex people exist. Which is to say, people who are born without a clear distinction of being male or female at birth. Because of, their chromosomes potentially being different, or just the way that their body developed in utero. They can have, characteristics of either side of the spectrum of sexual dimorphism. But that's the thing about it. Like, even biological sex isn't binary, much to the chagrin of dumb fucks who source all of their opinions from how they feel on the inside. What about my intersex partner? They develop both? Who's to say?
We could make up these other rules, but that is the ground rules, brother. Like, this whole, oh, no, it's construct.
Well, you could say, wait, he says you can make up other rules, but these are the ground rules. Like, I don't necessarily disagree with that take in a vacuum. Like, the ground rules are, yeah, your biology dictates a variety of your physical characteristics, your sexual characteristics, etc., etc. That is, like, the blueprint. But the thing is, like, it differs, for one, and for two, you can change it. Not even, like, with surgeries, but, like, just by replacing the dominant hormone with another one. You can change it. And you can change it to the point where you become more biologically understandable by medical professionals to be the gender that usually corresponds to the hormone that you're having, being the replacement. So, like, a AMAB person who assigned male at birth has XY chromosomes, who's been on estrogen long enough, their body, because of their biology and the way that hormones work and how your endocrine system works, will eventually become more recognizable as a woman, as a female, to medical professionals, and that becomes incredibly relevant information as well if you go to the doctor, than a male. It's kind of the whole point of going on the hormones. I'm so tired of God argumentation. Well, it's just a feelings argument, When you literally do not have medical or scientific consensus on your side, and you don't even have, like, basic biology on your side, all you have at that point are my feelings. God says this, and God's always right, so checkmate, gay theists. But women are gay? That's true. But anyway, yeah, he's saying, like, the blueprint is the same, but we can have the other rules. What the fuck are the other rules, brother? That is gender. Gender are the other rules. You have biological sex, sure, but gender is the other rules. Gender is what, decides who's a woman or a man, and then decides based on our society and our expectations for those genders how they ought to be, or how we expect them to be. The thing is, we're trying to move past that because we're not fucking cavemen anymore. Like, we're not cavemen anymore. So we are making those other rules, and those other rules exist at our whim. They weren't invented by anybody else. We thought them all up and put them all together as a society. And because of that, we're able to change it. Much the same way that we can change a person's biology by having them be on different hormones should they choose. You can change the goddamn social construct because it's just not even on paper. It's just vibes. It's just fucking vapors in the air. You fucking do one of these and do a fucking vape trick with that shit. That's how ephemeral it is.
I'm a penguin. Am I a penguin?
You could be a penguin. Doesn't hurt me none. How the fuck I care if you call yourself a penguin? What are your pronouns, brother? Penguin? Wank, wank. I don't give a fuck. Sure. Why does it bother me? What does it do to me? Are we doing attack helicopter arguments? When all you have are feelings and not facts, yeah, that's all you can really do. Am I a penguin? Yeah, you're a fucking penguin. I don't give a fuck. Sure. Now, I can look at your DNA and be like, yeah, you know, you don't share a lot of these characteristics usually associated with penguins, but I'm not gonna, like, crusade against your ability to call yourself a penguin. The thing is that, like, trans women are closer to women than you are to a penguin, right? Like, makes no sense. Like, trans women, you go on estrogen, you're starting to develop a variety of things commonly associated with the female sex, because it's kind of the point.
Saying is, so sex is male or female?
Sex is something I have with your mother.
Right.
So you're correct, Ak and Adin. There's male and there's female.
Yes,
So
there is.
true.
There's two genders.
There are also intersex people.
Okay,
Yes.
that's the biological attribute, right?
Correct.
Male and female, that's sex.
Yes.
Gender. See, like there's a
Like, if they meant the fucking same thing, why do we have two different words? Like, there are a bunch of different words that mean the same thing. But, like, it seems to come up very frequently that these two are actually distinct things. And it's because they interface with each other. Because the biological sex you are will often inform the gender identity you end up identifying with, right? The majority of people identify as the gender most commonly associated with their birth sex. That's the world we're living in. However, there is a percentage of the population in the US, it's like, on a good day, 1.5% or some shit, is what you're mad about, by the way. 1% of what? Fucking hundreds of millions of people? That they don't identify as the gender that they were expected to identify with when their birth sex was recorded after their birth? It's pretty simple, man. Like, it's some 1 + 1 = 2 type shit. I'm trying to get to, like, elementary school levels for these people. For fucking Adin Ross, bro. And DJ Akademiks.
communication and misunderstanding of gender versus sex. Sex is
Like, I'm sorry, if the fucking ape himself, if the goddamn Persian gorilla on the bottom left, his identification, by the way, not mine, literally calls himself an ape. If he is smarter than you in an argument, you gotta check your shit. Like, you gotta figure something out, man. You are lost. It's not good, man. That's depressing.
You understand? So when you guys say
Yes,
there's two,
of course,
there's
I understand.
When you guys say there's two genders, you're referring to those two sexes, right? Gender is actually a social construct.
There
right?
you go. So why tell me I'm wrong about this? I was
Fucking
wrong.
eat their asses, train wrecks. Imagine.
Behaviors and certain things of certain different, right? Like, so when you say
It's
is
so
there two
simple.
genders, what you mean other two sexes?
so
Yes,
fucking
there's two
simple,
sexes.
bro.
There's male and there's female.
Guys,
You understand?
guys.
So like you're both arguing two different things. That's the flaw.
Academics.
no,
Stop,
no,
please.
no, no.
No, stop. Academics. Have you ever gone to a gender reveal party? We don't call it a sex reveal party. You call it a gender reveal party.
Yo,
Yeah, it's because it's misnamed, brother. Actually, not even necessarily. Because, like, a gender reveal party is just essentially a guess about what the gender identity that baby might have in the future, you know, given their biological sex. Like, you could call it a sex reveal party if you really want to. It's just that if you invite a bunch of your family members to a sex reveal party, they might look at you sideways and have a couple questions for you. Like, I have to imagine it's more of a, like, well, this word just kind of works better for this because gender reveal party doesn't have the same kind of vibe that sex reveal party is. Like, what are you revealing to me about sex at this party, my friend? And why are you inviting all your aunts and uncles? But, like, the real reason is because motherfuckers don't understand the difference. Because they always conflate gender with sex, even though they're different things. And, like, that's fine if, like, that's a misunderstanding you had, because it's a misunderstanding a lot of people have. But if you're presented with, like, the correct information and you continue to cry about it, then it becomes, like, a problem for you. It's the gender you're assigning your child? Yeah. Essentially, if it is revealed that, you know, your baby is having XY or XX chromosomes, and that's determined by, in the ultrasound, if they have, like, a penis or not or whatever, you'll be like, okay, well, you know, their biological sex is probably male or female, so then the gender identity that's most commonly associated with male is going to be man, and female is going to be women, so that's going to be our guess, is that it's going to be a boy or a girl. Like, that's really it. But, like, sometimes motherfuckers are wrong. You know, when it comes to trans people, turns out the parents were wrong. They weren't wrong about the birth sex, because that was certainly true. Though there might be some intersex stuff going on that wasn't caught, because motherfuckers don't get their chromosomes checked at birth. A lot of people who are intersex who don't know until a lot later on. But, like, generally speaking, they might have been right in the beginning about like, oh, this is a male or a female in terms of their biological sex at birth. And I say at birth because even your biological sex can start to change with hormone replacement therapy. But like later on, if motherfuckers start identifying as the gender they were not assigned at birth, well, suddenly they're trans. So like the reveal party was a miss, but it doesn't really matter. Like you can't always be correct. And I feel like that should be a point we could drive home to Adin Ross and DJ Academics because it's so frequent that they're not correct, they should be used to it. If someone was a bit pedantic, they might say those guesses are nearly always wrong since gender is something that has to be developed and thus all babies are non-binary. Well, I happen to believe that as well, is that all babies are non-binary because in order to have a gender identity, you need to understand what gender is, and I'm pretty sure most infants do not. You know, even DJ Academics and Adin Ross don't understand gender, so I don't expect somebody to have like 2 or 3 IQ points lower, an infant child, to be able to understand it either. As the science of gender developing for most by age 5, like an internal sense of what their gender would be. And a lot of the times that's going to be informed by the society you're living in, man. Like if your whole life, because you were assigned male at birth, your parents are like, yeah, you're a boy, so you gotta be, you know, into G.I. Joe, and you gotta be into sports, and you gotta be doing all this stuff that we typically associate with boys and then men as they get older. And then all of society is saying that as well. It's pretty likely that that person is going to take all that information in and be like, okay, that's probably the case. And then eventually, as they get older, they start learning past basic biology and sociology, and they're like, oh shit, I am cisgender. I do identify as a man, and I was assigned male at birth. Poggers. Or they find out like, oh no, it turns out I am a man, but I was assigned female at birth, so that would make me a trans man, you know? It's pretty simple. Like, I could even draw up like a quick diagram in MS Paint if it helps. Are you ready for this shit? All right, so here we go. We got, for the sexes, we've got male, we got female, okay? This will be denoted with the black text. And then for the genders, we got man and woman, a concept I don't think actually exists, but we'll play along with the delusion that women are real. I mean, it's got man in the word, so, all right? And it's green because green starts with a G and so does gender, just to help you follow along, okay? So now, we'll give like a percentage chance. There's like a, and this is not like a full percent. I'm gonna give you like a healthy 97% of the time. If you're born with male sex, you will identify as a man later in life. And it's the same if you're born with the female sex. You'll probably be identifying as a woman later in life. And ain't nothing wrong with that. More power to you. However, sometimes people will go like this, be like, oh shit, you know, I'm fucking 16 years old, so when I'm 18 or whatever, I'm gonna be a man, or 21, I'm gonna be a man. And then later on in life, they're like, wait a minute, that doesn't seem right. A lot of the things that society says that I should be, or should look like, or should act like, I don't really like to do. And I would prefer to actually be seen in society as a woman. And that's happening like 1% of the time. We'll give you a 2% of the time. Okay? And then sometimes the alternative is happening where you'll be like, oh yeah, I'm 16, I'm gonna be 18 soon, so by society's dictates, I will then be considered a woman and not a girl anymore. So I'm just gonna identify that way. Eventually, later on in life, they're like, wait, I would actually like to be seen in society as a man. So then they end up transitioning. And that'll happen like 1% of the time. I'm just throwing up some numbers here. But like, it's like on a good day, like I say, 1.5% of the US population, which is millions of people, are transgender. And that's what you're, you know, bitching about. But anyway, I digress. And then sometimes, much more rare, there will be circumstances where motherfuckers will be not even going to the man section and will be, when they're much younger, finding out like, oh shit, I feel like a girl actually. Like I see the girls in my class and I'm like, I relate to them a lot. I would like to be seen as one of them, actually. And it's a speedrunner trick called gender skip, where you end up skipping the first part and going to the other part. And that's going to happen like a 0.000000000 question mark % of the time. Much more rare, you know? And same for the inverse. And I'm sure we'll get into that 0.0001% or whatever, because that's what motherfuckers like this, when they're losing the argument about how trans people aren't real or whatever, they'll be like, oh, well, I just don't want the kids to be involved or blah, 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 blah. Even though in this case, it's just like a boy wearing a dress because the boy is like, yeah, I might be a girl, whatever. I'd like to see what's up with that if I could for a little bit. Try to figure it out. And it might turn out that they are not actually, and they just, had a bit of a phase, and they end up going along with the 97% of males who end up identifying as men. But sometimes that's not the case. I feel like it's pretty simple. It's a helpful little hint here. So, like, essentially, the biological sex, male and female, are usually informed by the chromosomes that, you as a fetus have. You get a hormone wash in utero during the gestation period, given what those chromosomes suggest, which will then dictate if your body ends up developing into having the qualities most often expected from the male or female sex. And then after that, you will have been born. You'll be assigned the gender, boy or girl, at birth, given the expectation, the 97% of the time that males are born, they will end up identifying as men in the future. Sometimes that's incorrect, though. And we have like the 2% of the time or whatever, where, that's not the case. And then once a person goes through puberty, if they are not transgender, they will have another hormone wash. In the case of males, testosterone. In the case of females, estrogen. And that will continue to develop their body to have the secondary sexual characteristics most commonly associated with females and males. So for men, that'll be growing body hair, deepening of the voice, because testosterone thickens the vocal cords, which then makes your voice resonate at a deeper frequency, whereas estrogen does not thicken or thin the vocal cords. Like, it doesn't change it that much, or as drastically as testosterone does. So you'll end up having a voice that will more commonly resonate at a higher frequency. Not always, though. Women, they'll have their period, they'll start shedding uterine lining in order to eventually potentially carry a child in the future. The testes will drop if you're male, and you'll start being able to produce semen, which once you are an adult, you would be able to potentially use to create another child, an infant of your own, and bada bing, bada boom. But there's a hidden third hormone wash that can occur, and does often occur to like 1% of the population, where, you end up suppressing whatever hormone, testosterone or estrogen, that's most commonly associated with your birth sex, in lieu of the other one that you would prefer, which would then help you develop the same characteristics, but often a bit later in life. So trans men will end up growing more body hair, their vocal cords will thicken, so their voice will vibrate at a lower register, and they'll end up having a deeper voice. Trans women will end up having, estrogen become the dominant hormone. They'll develop often breasts, and their body hair can thin. The vocal cords will not thin, so it'll require like vocal training in order to have your voice not be as chadly as mine. Though, of course, there are a lot of cis men out there that don't have the kind of buttery, smooth, masculine voice that I have. We're looking at two of them on the screen right now, and they might have to do some vocal training to get to my level. But anyway, and that's that. Like, I don't know. If the concept can be understood with a crude diagram in MS Paint, I feel like most people should be able to understand it. You're talking to a penguin, it's a lost cause. Hey! You talking shit on penguins like that? I think a penguin could understand this if given time. You talking shit on penguins?
Because put it like this. If you meet some of these grown-ass niggas who think they females, if you ask them what sex they are, they're not going to say they're actually male. They're going to say they're a female.
Well, how often does this happen to you, man? It could be the case that, like, if you asked a trans woman, hey, what's your biological sex? Which, first of all, is a really fucking weird thing to ask somebody. I don't know that I've ever asked that to an individual, much less a stranger, because, like, I don't really care. DJ Akademiks is just going up to people like, hey, what's your genitals like down there, huh? Hey, mamma mia, I want to see the linguini. Hey, I don't know why I made him Italian. Italian DJ Akademiks be like, mamma mia, where's the gabagool? And by gabagool, I mean the meatballs. And by meatballs, I mean your fucking cock and balls, man. That's weird as fuck, bro. Why the fuck you asking people what genitals they got? Or what chromosomes they got? You probably haven't even had your chromosomes tested, man. Your chromosomes dictate your gender, motherfuckers, when they find out that they might actually be intersex. Who's to say? Most normal people are not concerned with the chromosomes other people have, and most people haven't even had their chromosomes tested, so they don't even know what they are. Hey, you look trans. What's in your pants? So true, man. That's a standard DJ Akademiks strat right there. The ladies love it. Oh, I should say, by the way, but even if you were to ask somebody that, like you're a fucking insane person, asylum escapee, and you're gonna roll up to someone and be like, what's your biological sex, please? You could get a variety of answers from that. But like I say, like, there's a distinction between... Yeah, exactly, Alex. There's a distinction between biological sex and legal sex, because you can actually get your sex marker changed on your identification, on your state ID. So, like, they wouldn't be, quote-unquote, lying to you if they said they were female in this instance, in this hypothetical, because their state ID might literally say F on it. And that's not a passing grade, but M isn't even a grade, so who's the real loser here? Like, and that's a social concept, man. Like, the idea of having a state ID that would then have your personal identifying information on it, such as your birth sex, that shit doesn't happen naturally, man. That's not basic biology. That's a societal construct. But even then, like, even without that loophole, if a person is on estrogen or testosterone long enough, if they're trans femme or trans masc, respectively, then their biology, especially when it comes to fucking medical professionals who have to know this shit, they're going to the doctor, they can start being more identifiable biologically as male or female, even though they weren't born that way, for lack of a better term. So even then, like, they probably wouldn't say, I'm closer to female, because that's a weird response. They'd probably just say, yeah, I'm female. And even then, like, if a motherfucker is coming up to you and it's like, yo, you look trans, what's your genitals like? What's your biological sex? And, like, you're presenting as, like, a man, I'd just be like, male, even if it wasn't the case, because I don't know what the fuck you're gonna do. You're already acting crazy. You're already coming up to me asking me some crazy shit. So, like, I'm just gonna go with the answer that I think is gonna upset you less, because I don't know what the fuck you're about to do. And that goes for anybody coming at me, being like, yo, what's your genitals like, huh? Hey, come here. Which way does it hang? Hey, does it curve a little? Hey, let me get the lowdown on that. You got blueprints? I want to see them. It's weird, bro.
Forms, on all the government forms you filled out, does it not say sex M/F?
We're not talking about government forms. Yo, respectfully, we're talking about government forms. Yo, we're
not talking about government forms, because that would be inconvenient to my argument. Oh, brother. This guy stinks.
About, like, I completely get your argument, and you're right. But the people...
Whoa! We got him! We got him. DJ Academics agrees. There's two sexes, even though that's not true, but a simplified way. Male and female are the most common. Intersex people exist, shouts out. But gender and sex are not the same thing. It does say sex, yeah, but often it will also say gender as an additional dialogue box. Not always, of course, but... Yeah, or it could say sexo, you know? But yeah, DJ, he said it. Clip him. Clip him and ship him.
What we're talking about, they want to be able to pick not only gender, but sex. They're picking...
What the fuck? Bro, what the goalposts, man? Where'd they go? Yo, where's the goalposts at? Stop moving that shit. I could still probably hit a three-pointer if you move the fucking hoop further away, and I'm 5'4". Is this an easy-ass argument? We're playing with fucking weighted dice in this argument against these people. What do you mean? Oh, they're usually trying to change their sex, too. It's not what we're talking about, man. The argument right now was, you motherfuckers are like, there are only two genders. And then it turns out that you're getting fact-checked by the fucking ape in the bottom left and the goblin on the bottom right. And you're like, okay, you got me. Slow down, you caught me. But sometimes people who are trans are like, yo, but I want to change my sex, too. The thing is like, that's not even the own you think it is. Because even if that was the case, that is literally possible, brother. If you're on testosterone or estrogen long enough, your shit changes. And the medical system will interface with you and interpret you as the biological sex that more closely lines up to your characteristics. So if you've been on estrogen for long enough, you're going to be checked for fucking breast cancer more frequently than a man might be. You're going to be checked for fucking osteoporosis more frequently than a man might be. You know, you're going to be checked for if you're fucking charging your phone and eating hot chip and lying more frequently than a man might be. Because your biological sex does end up changing. So, like, you're wrong there, too. Like, even the straw man you've constructed is some fucking big bad wolf shit. Like, it doesn't stand up. I don't get it, man. These people are crazy.
Have you met someone that is, I gotta be clear.
Motherfucker almost said allegedly male or allegedly trans. I'm allegedly trans. You can't prove it. Where's your proof, huh? Where's your proof?
Have you met someone that is, I gotta be clear because I know I'm still on Twitch, trans, and if you...
Wait, what were you gonna say that you couldn't say on Twitch? You're just gonna call him a fucking trainee? Like Trainee? Because that would have made your argument a lot better. Motherfuckers, we call each other that word all the time. You're not hard for calling a fucking transgender person that word. Or the F slur, for that matter. I don't think that's what he was going for. And even if you were saying allegedly transgender, you could say that on Twitch. They're not gonna fucking ban you for that shit. You're crazy. That's wokeness, though, to be honest. I should be able to say the word without fear of retribution from Twitch. Because it describes me. and I use it as a term of endearment to my fellow fill in the blank. I should be allowed to say the F slur, frankly. DJ Akademiks is over here. He's reclaimed a slur, and more power to him. I can't say that word, and I don't. I don't really want to, frankly. But, like, I should be able to, you know, reclaim my own slurs, maybe. I don't know. If I'm not, like, using them to demean somebody else, I should be able to do it. It's wokeness run amok. Didn't Akademiks literally cry because he can't say homophobic slurs on Twitch? Yeah, probably. I don't fucking know. Wouldn't surprise me.
Do you think they identify like, oh, I'm actually a male, sex-wise, but I consider myself as a woman? They don't. They call themselves a woman and a female.
Do they, though? And even if they did, why do you care? Like, I still don't understand. Like, who is it hurting? Who is it hurting? You? Because your feelings are hurt or something? Why? Why are your feelings hurt? Why are you fucking excited about this shit? It's 1% of the population on a good day. You're fucking weird, man.
That's a fact. Well, why y'all acting like they still consider themselves a male?
They still mean the gender though. Like, and if they don't, they're wrong. But that doesn't. Why?
So like, this is gonna be like the standard normie response for people who aren't fucking insane. To be like, yeah, well, they'll still be wrong because like that's what xQc said. That's not technically true. They might technically be correct. Like if we want to get into the nitty gritty, if they've been on HRT long enough, they're gonna be more correct than not. But even if they haven't been on HRT, I don't care. But like, you could say they're technically incorrect. I don't give a shit. Colloquially, it would make more sense. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna ask a person who is presenting in all measurable ways through vision and I guess sound, I don't know if you're smelling them. You shouldn't be touching them without, you know, their consent. That they are a woman or a man. Like, if they tell you that they're male or female, like, they might just be trying to avoid a hate crime, frankly. Even if they might not agree with that themselves. Because, like, there are a lot of trans people out there that are fine with the fact that they understand that their biological sex might be male or female or whatever. Because, like, they understand the difference, and they just don't care about it like you seem to for some reason. Even though it's them and not you, right? Like, if a motherfucker's coming up to somebody and is like, yo, what biological sex are you? Literally, DJ Akademiks in this fucking clip was like, yo, if a man comes up to me and says gender's a social construct, I'm gonna slap him. So, like, if he goes up to some random trans and he's like, yo, what genitals you got? What's your biological sex? And they answer in a way that makes him upset, that hurts his feelings, they might be getting fucking beat up. They might just try to avoid that shit and do whatever the fuck they think would make you less likely to beat the shit out of them. Only argument reactionaries ever have is, I don't like / understand the way you feel, so you are wrong. Yeah, it's all feeling shit, man. My answer is none of your business. Exactly, bro. Like, yo, DJ Akademiks comes up to me. He's like, yo, what your biological sex? And I'm like, who the fuck are you? The IRS? Are you the government? Are you a fucking Fed? Who's asking? Literally, what does it matter to you? Are you conducting the census, man? Because if not, fuck off. I'm trying to get my fucking Chick-fil-A. I need my homophobic chicken.
I feel so enraged and compelled to write them. That's the government's fucking thing to do that. If they misrepresent themselves on a government form, they're now wrong. That's fucking illegal. If they say sex and they
I just see what the fuck are you talking about. He's trying to be like, I get what he's trying to do. He's wrong. But like, I get what he's trying to do and be like, yeah, that's, you know, but like gender, he's trying to hold the line on the gender and sex are different things, while like giving them a little bit of wiggle room on the specific issue of like how a person's biological sex, how they understand it for themselves or whatever, and like government forms. Like, I get where he's trying to go in terms of how the argument is working, but like, he's still wrong. Depending, and even so, who fucking cares, bro?
That's actually wrong. Why do you feel like you have to go, no, you are this, you are that? Yo, chill the fuck out, bitch ass. Chill out.
True.
I don't feel compelled to correct them. I'm just showing.
I don't feel compelled to correct them, but I'm gonna get on this goddamn stream with probably 50,000 fucking people and bitch about it for 2 hours. I don't feel compelled to correct them, but I'm gonna get hurt feelings. I'm gonna be pressed about 1% of the population on a good day because of my misunderstanding about basic biology and sociology. But I'm not gonna do anything about it. But if a dude comes up to me and is like, yo, gender's a social construct, man, am I right? You're gonna fucking slap him, apparently.
The fallacy in what you just tried to explain.
Not a fallacy.
And you don't know what.
Phallus?
Maybe not you, but Trainwreck said, well, you know what? You guys are right. Sex, there's only 2 sexes, but you could have multiple genders because that's a social construct. I'm telling you.
You're on the money, man. Just quit while you're ahead. This is the most ahead you've ever been in this conversation. You could quit right here and you'd still be a dumbass, but at least you would have landed on the correct position. You know, as understood by the majority of medical and scientific consensus on the issue of biological sex and gender being different things. And you could just move on. And, like, you might be right for the first time in your life. Because in this instance, we're not talking about music.
Usually, if someone, and by the way, I'm not even passionate about this, truth be told.
Truth be told, but if a motherfucker comes up to me and is like, yo, gender's a social construct, I'm gonna fucking slap him. But, like, I'm not really excited about it. I'm not emotionally invested. But, like, if somebody comes up to me with a banal statement like that, like, they're liable to get their shit fucking pushed in. That's why I carry a fucking gun on me. I got a fucking Chiappa Rhino 9mm revolver back there in the fucking cabinet. Motherfucker comes up to me, says, gender's a social construct. I swear to God, I'm not emotionally invested, but I'm gonna start blasting like Danny DeVito. What the hell is this? Took forever, a chart of all the different factors that lead to biological sex? What is this? Factual information? What am I, gay? What? This isn't fucking 1 + 1 = 2. I can't understand this shit. I have the better chart. Okay? This is the one you need to look at. Not whatever the fuck this is. Yeah, I guess we could link to this. Seems interesting. We're kind of like overcooking the segment at this point because these dumbasses can't even get past like basic biology and sociology. Like if we're pulling up like charts, we are kind of overcooking it a little bit. He doesn't care though. He's arguing with his whole body, but he doesn't care though. Yeah.
But like, usually if someone, say someone was born, right, a female, they was born with a pussy. If they want to now identify as a man, they're not gonna then tell people, I am a female by sex, but I am a man by gender.
Because they're
So now you agree though, like you have already lost the argument. This literally, like, the goalposts have moved. You lost an argument to fucking train wrecks and xQc. Because, like, the initial claim was gender is the same as sex on your end. And xQc and train were like, no, dumbass. Even I understand that gender and sex are different. Gender's a social construct, and then sex is a biological one. And, like, now you're literally like, yeah, you're right, but my feelings, man.
Because they're acting in a social way with other social beings, using a social construct to fucking communicate. They're using a social construct to communicate, not some biological fucking markers. Holy shit. How hard is it to understand it?
So true. Speak on that, xQc. They shouldn't have ended the clip. Academics also comes from a community that is known to be pretty socially conservative, where these conversations are actually had. Aiden just says things, but he doesn't believe anything. Yeah, because he's a fucking dumbass. Anyway, so that's the one clip. Aha! xQc and Aiden gets into an argument about two genders. So this is like a new clip?
All of your opinions can exist.
And don't throw me no Hayden. You don't give a fuck when kids get beat. I give a fuck about all genders, all kids getting fucking mentally abused,
I feel like I'm missing some context. Emotionally abused? The emotional abuse in question? You were born man! You were born with a penis! You have to be a boy! You want to go in and be a ballerina? Fuck you! You have to kill your desire to be a ballerina. That emotional abuse? Literally all they're saying is like, yo, if all of society and also my parents hadn't like pushed it upon me like forcefully that because I was born a boy that I had to be a boy and then a man later on, motherfuckers might not be that. Like that's what I'm hearing here. Like, it required other people to tell you what you are supposed to be, and if left up to your own devices, you fear you might have gone a different way. And we might have been speaking to Adriana Ross instead. That's all I'm seeing.
Emotionally abused, physically abused. I care about all that. I'm just saying protect the kids is all I'm saying.
Yeah, this is the last dying gasp of somebody who's been owned in an argument. But think of the children, man. But think about the children. The fuck about them, bro. What's happening to them? They're going to the doctor, they're going to a mental health and physical health professional, and they're like, yo, it says I was born a girl, but like, kind of like G.I. Joe, and I would like to be seen like my brother is seen in society, not in so many words. So like, what's good? And then the doctors are like, oh, interesting. How do you feel about this, parent? And the parents will say whatever the fuck. And then they'll be like, okay, well, come back to us later, see if you still feel the same way. You could even maybe try a different name. Let little Jessica go and play football with the boys. Fuck it, why not? If she wants to. And then come talk to me. You know, refer to her like, oh, that's my son in public. See how she feels about it. Okay? This is mental abuse, though. We're really just protecting the children, man. Mental abuse. What are you talking about, man?
You guys
Okay. So
you know what? I'll tell you guys what.
You're right.
I'm gonna identify as a fucking a dog. Let's do it. Come on.
Congratulations.
Like a fucking dog. Come on.
See, he's doing the warm thing. This is my
No, it's not warm.
bar.
That's true. Yeah, you can't fucking, or you cannot bite this fucking swag from xQc, man. Stole his whole flow. xQc invented the getting up and acting a fool and doing some physical comedy first. You can't just do that shit straight to his face. Disrespectful.
Bars, my strap.
Dude.
I'm a
Yeah,
ready
these
to
are
hit that
facts.
doggy style, boy.
My point is this, guys. The problem is this, bro. People on the internet are
Tell me the problem, Aiden Ross. I need to know.
so fucking bored. I get it. Cool, you guys are.
Yeah, motherfuckers are bored, so they get mad at like 1% of the population that don't even know you exist. That's true.
Bored. You wanna say, oh, I identify as a fucking scooter, dude. In real life,
Bro,
you're
that
a
fucking ring, motherfucker. Get out of the goddamn way. I'm tired of you motherfuckers clogging the goddamn streets because you're not putting your goddamn online scooters in the spots they're supposed to. I have to step over fucking your ass, your scooter self. Put your shit away in the correct spot.
male and you're a fucking female. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's the truth.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
And a bitch
Okay.
technically is a female dog. Yet you call
Correct.
girls bitches all the time, right?
Oh! Got his ass. Aiden Ross furry arc? Listen, if you've ever called, the women you are copulating a bitch, that's some furry shit. I would not be caught dead being anywhere close to a furry. So I'm not going to do that. But I mean, more power to you, Aiden Ross, if you want to.
Do they go like? Do they say no? Actually, I'm a female born when I was young, not a bitch. They don't fucking do that shit, right?
Yeah, because they're not
Bro,
weird.
what are you saying?
Do they?
Anyway, that's funny. Not the best rebuttal, but I mean, it's the level of rebuttal that Aiden Ross deserves for the stupid ass arguments he's making. Aiden leaves Discord after trying to prove xQc wrong. This might be the last one we watch.
Bro, listen.
What
I
are
think
these,
both of you-
Trey? What are these?
The fuck
Hey.
are you putting on my screen, bro?
That's
Get your grandma's, or get your grandma's, get your fucking grandpa's nuts out of here. I don't need to see that shit.
that's a crazy ass, some sort of, I don't know, some
It's a
long
fucking
ass
bad grandpa shit.
Some
sack.
cojones.
But guys, I don't want them to be balls. I think
The fuck is this dude writing in his post-it notepad? Fucking Blues Clues ass.
this is a vagina to me.
That's
Okay.
Again, that's something physical, biological.
Ain't nobody
That's something
cares, bro.
That would be called a sex rather than a gender. Gender is more of an idea. It's more of some. It's not something you can touch. It's not something that you can. That's malleable.
Yeah, it's not something you can fondle. It's not something you could cup while you're stroking. It's not something that, like, you could squeeze. It's not something that, like, you could reach behind and press up a little bit to, get at the prostate. That's not what gender is, man.
fucking dumbass.
Come on.
Exactly.
Brother, you're the one like saying like, yo, dude, give me an idea. And I say, Aiden, we should do this. That's an idea. No, dude, let me touch the idea. Let me touch it. You can't touch the idea. You can't. It's a thought.
true.
It's something you process and you communicate. You can't touch the idea.
Bro, I'ma touch your mom's idea. It's listen, we've been at this for a while. I'll take the -2. There was something that could have been done there, and I was thinking about it, but like my brain wasn't working fast enough because my IQ has dropped several levels listening to Aiden Ross and DJ Academics talk about trans issues. Like, I'll take the -2, I'll take the L on that one, but you got to understand where I'm coming from.
That was it, I guess.
Gotta drink more coffee.
I don't even want you guys to just
Jesus.
even talk about who won that fucking debate. There's no point. It's just going
Oh, the
circle. I just-
bitch! The bitch! Oh, I don't even want you guys to talk about who won that debate, because he knows he lost, bro. He knows he lost. Imagine being made a fool of by Trainwrecks and xQc. I'd be embarrassed, too. That's never gonna happen, because I'm right about everything. But, like, imagine. I got empathy. I could put myself in his shoes.
Just don't give a fuck, guys. Look,
I
I'll
think
put
I was
my
right.
camera on fucking loud HD.
I just
some people
think-
in my chat are not gonna fuck with it.
I
if you want
think,
to be gay, if you want to be a trans, go do it in
listen,
your
I've
spare time.
been-
You know what? Be happy.
If you want to be gay or be trans, go do it in your spare time. Just not when you're at work, okay? Do it in your off time. So being trans is a full-time job. And frankly, I deserve to be paid full-time wages for it. Give me money for free.
I've been
Stupid. He literally lost the argument. It was like, okay, if you want to be gay or trans, just go do it. Be happy. That's literally what he said. Like, thoroughly lost the debate. What the fuck happened when DJ Academics lost? Like, what happened when he left, I mean? Classic conservative snowflakes leaving when they get offended, so true. Gender equals identity and expression. Sex equals biology. Nobody's arguing that you could change your biology. They're simply trying to get you to understand that people should be free to identify in ways that align with themselves. Well, listen, maybe the juicers are okay. The thing is, though, the juicers, like, they skew younger. And the younger generations are more knowledgeable on this issue than older generations, like fucking Axe old ass. He might be around my age. I don't actually know. DJ Academics age. 32? I'm like 28. So like maybe that's it. Like they're more aware. They have the correct information. They haven't been mentally abused by the world around them into being deluded about gender and sex. They actually understand that they're two different things. Funny that normie arguments about trans people are unbeatable. Guess the normies can be saved after all. Yeah, the easiest normie argument about, like, oh, how do you feel about trans people? And it's like, why the fuck do I care? That's like the normal response. It's like, good for them. It literally does not affect me unless like that person happens to be trans, and in which case they'd be like, fuck trans people. Sick of these bitches. Why are they all hotter than me? Anyway. Well, that was fun. I think Hassan reacted to the entirety of the debate, which is like the biggest L I could possibly think of. I'm glad I only looked at the clips and I still spent an hour on it. Or more, for that matter. That's pretty good. I turned 35 today and it appalls me how little my generation knows about this. Well, people are learning. Did you hear the new Drake diss to Kendrick? He dropped another one? Yeah, I don't know what it says about somebody that you gotta drop 2 diss tracks in response to a diss verse. But I mean, he had a lot of people that were coming after him, you know, on the first one. I have not heard it though, no. I saw I heard the other 2. I heard the Kendrick one and then the first Drake one that was leaked or whatever. Antoine Fantoine on the internet was saying that the AI one was actually kind of good. And I did clown on Drake's response, the first one, the drop and give me 50. Upon further inspection, it wasn't as bad as I was making it out to be. It was all right. I still expect more from Kendrick, though. So if ever a response comes out, which I imagine will, I expect it to be gas. And if it's not, then, you know, that's an L that you might not be able to come back from. And luckily for me, I'm not Kendrick Lamar. So if it does end up fucking torching this man's career, because how can you lose to a rap beef to Drake? Then I could still listen to Good Kid, Mad City. I could listen to Pimp a Butterfly. I could listen to Damn. I could listen to Miss Morale. Like, because I'm not him. I don't have such an emotional attachment to this person I've never met, whose music I enjoy, that I'm going to feel some type of way about it. It is what it is. I don't expect that to happen, though. If nothing else, like, I think the worst Kendrick could do is, like, make an equal level diss track to Drake's 2 diss tracks. Like, that's worst case scenario in my mind. But who knows? Apparently Kendrick has an album in May, and he will have a diss on the album, but I don't know, that's just rumors. That would be nice. When did Mr. Morale come out? That was a while ago. 2022 or 3? 2022. Yeah, so, I mean, it has been 2 years. Almost exactly, because we're in almost late April by this point. Could be the case. Would be cool. I'm always excited for a new Kendrick project. Has it really been 2 years? Somehow. Some way. Use AI, Tupac, and Snoop Dogg? I don't yet. Well, first of all, AI Tupac is weird. Kind of disrespectful, because the man is dead. But I mean, what's he gonna do about it? But AI Snoop Dogg is weird. I assume he got permission from Snoop Dogg. But like, why wouldn't Snoop just do it himself? I guess AI really is replacing all the jobs. I don't know. I don't understand. Like, does anybody have any info on that? Also, I should end this segment for fucking Hayden Ross shit. Moral of the story: if you lose a debate to xQc and Trainwrecks, you just gotta hang it up. You gotta throw in the towel. You gotta fucking get a hobby, because this debate shit is not working out. Anyway.